Hi, welcome to Arty Crafty Alchemy. Guess what time it is? Winner winner chicken dinner time. After we choose the winner, I'll also be creating a card using supplies from the Hedgehog Hollow box. I'm the Arty Crafty Alchemist. This is my daughter.
Hello!
She's helping me draw the winners today. Let's get started and see who won. So firstly, just to let you know, if you are in Australia and you already have the perfect pearls or don't want them, I can send you a set of alcohol inks. I have 3 different sets to choose from. I will have to look up what their set names are called. I actually got them without the packaging because it was cheaper to send them to me from Canada like that, but I ended up with a lot of doubles, so I thought I would share, but I can only send them in Australia because you cannot send alcohol mediums through the post, so I'd hate for your package to get lost. So if you're from Australia, you can choose the alcohol inks. We only had 9 entries, so that means only 2 prizes this time, but hopefully next time we'll get more entrants and there'll be more prizes. This is our list of entrants in the order that they entered on Facebook, and my daughter has the random number generator and she is going to choose our winners. Our first winner is number 5, Suzanne F. My daughter's just going to write winner next to her name, and then she's going to click the generator again, and we'll see who won this time. What number's that? Number 3, Wendy M. So congratulations to Wendy and Suzanne. If both of you could please send me a message on the Arty Crafty Alchemy Facebook page, and we will sort out your prizes and get them sent to you as fast as possible. Thank you to everyone who entered. I really appreciate it. Thank you for liking my page. There will be more giveaways like this in the future. There'll be one at 250 subs. I'm at 165 now, so hopefully it shouldn't take too long to get there. Maybe another couple of months and we'll be there. So keep an eye out for that. I won't be putting in the title that it's a giveaway. I want it to be for my loyal followers, not for people who are just coming for giveaways. So that's a decision I have made at the moment. Maybe when I reach 1,000 subs, I will say that it's a giveaway, but until then, no. So my daughter's gonna go now. She wants to go and watch football, so
State of origin, New South Wales, New South Wales.
By the time you see this, the game will be over and we'll know who won. So she's really excited for that. I don't really watch football anymore, and I have some chores to do and some things to do to get ready to shoot the rest of this video. I will clear up our prizes and I will talk to you soon. So my daughter's going to say bye.
Bye.
And I'll be back again soon, all ready to make a card. I have my Hedgehog Hollow box, and this one has everything we've gotten so far in it. I've already made a couple of examples to show you. On this one I've used that gorgeous sparkly paper we got in one of our kits. I think it was this one or the one before. And then these are the spotty paper, and I've just flipped it over onto the smooth side to make some little sentiments. Excuse the cat hair. The cat thinks she's going to be in the video again. She wouldn't get off the table. Just got mad at me because I tried to move her a little bit, so I actually had some room to work. With this one I've used Copics, and I'll be using these Copics again for the next card that I'm going to make. And then because I love this sparkly paper and I didn't want to waste it, I actually made this card. I've just stamped all the ice creams in the background. I used the LDRS inks, and I also used some of these archival inks that are in here. And then I kind of made a bit of a boo-boo. I should have stamped the whole card, so I actually drew in some ice creams in the background. I coloured this one in using the new Audi graphic markers, which is a bit of a challenge. As you can see, his ear's a bit red just because there isn't a huge range of blending colours, so I had to work with what I had. I stamped both sentiments with the LDRS inks again, and I tucked some clear embossing powder on them that we got in our box if we got the bonus, and then I used some sequins I already had to embellish with. For this card I'm going to use the Nouveau glitter pen. Not sure for the sentiments what I'm going to do yet, so it could be the clear embossing powder or I could use some white. So I'm going to keep this out just in case and these out just in case. This paper is DCWV. I'm going to use that again for this card because from 112 by 12 sheet in the stack, just cutting wide enough for my card, I could get 2 pieces out of it, and I've actually saved all my little strips to see if I can do something else with them. So I am also using the sweet die. I've already cut this a bunch of times and stuck them together. You can make it as thin or as thick as you want. You don't have to stack them up if you don't want to. I've used double-sided tape sheets on there so that I can make it easier just to stack them together. I've just got a pre-made Kmart card. I've cut down a piece of cardstock to 1/4 inch smaller than my panel. I've got my stamp sets. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use. We'll work that out when we get there. Oh, and the Have and Birthday are from the Lawn Fawn Totally Awesome set. And I might grab the sequins out just in case. So because I wasn't sure if this would work, I've actually already used my Nouveau shimmer to colour this, but I can see a few spots where it hasn't quite coloured properly. So what I'm going to do is tape these together, because after I coloured that one I just wanted to see if it would work, and then I decided I didn't want to waste it. I realised I probably should have waited till I'd stuck it on here so I wasn't wasting a bunch of the ink when it was going off the edges. So I just line up this bottom section as best I can. Try not to get too stuck to it. As you can see, I'm not the best at lining things up, but there we go. Once you're happy with all your pieces, give them a little bit of a press down to make sure they stay in place. That one's done. And now I'm just going to stick our coloured bit on there. Okay, now I'm just going to line these up. Once you've got it lined up the way you want it, grab your Nouveau shimmer pen and give it a shake. This is the strawberry bonbon one that came in our kit, and I'm just going to add a little bit more. The other good thing about doing it after is also if you've got some bits that are peeking out that didn't quite layer up properly, just run some of the colour over them and you won't even notice that they're there. If you wanted to, you could also colour all the edges, but I'm not too worried about that. Okay, once you're happy with how it looks, set it aside to dry. I'm just going to take my Express It double-sided tape. Oops, that was still wet and I've got a little bit of the colour on there, so I'm just going to cover that with my panel. Nobody will know what's there but us. That still needs to dry a bit longer. Okay, while that's drying, I've pre-stamped the mice and I'm going to use this lovely lady. Well, I don't know if that's a boy or a girl mouse, but I don't care. She's being a lady today. So I'm going to try filming on this slope to see if it makes it easier for you to see. So I'm just using 2 markers today. You can use 3 if you want to. I'm just trying out the light, dark, light way of colouring on these small images. Something new for me. I'm taking W1 and W3. So I'm just going to add some shading with the W1. Go back and add in some dark. Next I'm going to start to blend that out. So again, I'm just going to flick in some colour. I'm not going quite all the way to the top with the W1, and then I'm adding the W3 in. And then blending some more with the W1. And I'll come back to that in a minute. Now I'm just throwing in some W1 into that little tiny spot around the ear, adding in some W3, blending it out, and then I'm just going to finish this ear off, and then I'll come back and finish this ear. It's quite a hard area to do just because there is such a little space. So let's get his little body done, and his arm, her arm. I don't know why I keep saying him because I've decided it's a girl today. Okay, again, starting with the light. adding some dark over where I put the light, and then carrying the light all the way down to the bottom for his little legs. So now I'm switching from W3 to WOO. Oh, that's not the right spot. Lucky that's so light. So I'm just actually going to colour his whole belly, her whole belly with that, and then I'm going to throw some shadows in around the ice cream. And that should dry just a little bit lighter. For the ice cream, because I don't have anything that's going to blend with this, I'm just going to lay a small amount of colour in, let that dry, and start on a cheek. I have RV10 and RV11. So I'm starting with my RV10, adding a little bit of RV11, and blending with the RV10. Now I'll turn him around and do his ear. Laying down a good amount of colour, dropping in some of the RV11, blending it out a little, and I'll come back to that in a second. Just going to add another layer to the ice cream. Let that dry again, and I'll finish the ear. And then I'll come back and finish the ice cream. And going to take some E51 for the cone, and I might make it a little bit darker with some E21. I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use, but I'll use the E21. That looks more like a cone colour. And for the shades, I'm going to attempt to use RV85. Not too bad. We just had one little bit that got in the wrong spot, but I don't actually have anything white that I can get rid of that with. Next up is the fussy cutting, and I'll be back when it's done. So I'm just going to cut a little way down here. I've cut a wedge across there. If we cut down to the tail, his tail might fall off, and it'll be quite hard to get that stuck down. So I'm just cutting a small piece out so it's not quite as bulky. So that's probably as best as we can get it so that we don't wreck our mouse and leave him tailless. For this one, because it was on the green, I found a close matching marker, and then I added some Wink of Stella over the top to make it shimmery like the background, just so it blended in a bit better. So for these ones, this one I'm just going to leave him like that, like I did on, leave her like that, like I did her. This one can go up a bit higher because we have more space. So I'm actually going to peel the back off this last one. Again, it's just, this one's from a roll, but you can use sheets onto some nice white cardstock. You can use box board, cereal boxes. We don't eat a lot of cereal these days, so I don't actually have a lot of cereal boxes. So I just used some white cardstock and laid them up. Okay, for Mousy, I'm going to use a combination of just regular foam tape and some Cool Tack foam tape. And I'm going to use my Tim Holtz scissors because they are non-stick. And then I'm going to cut some tiny pieces of this for the legs. It can be very hard to handle these tiny pieces, especially if they stick to your fingers. And I've got that tiny little bit again for later. I try not to waste any of this as it's quite expensive. Fun part is trying to get the backing off the tape without the tape coming back off again. We're just going to stick that on there, and then I'll take my tweezers, and anywhere I feel that something's sticking out a bit too much, I will tuck it under with the tweezers. Have our Mousy stuck down. Okay, again I'm going to chop stamps in half because I just want you. So for this one, I'm going to do You Sweet Thing. So I had to chop the R off because there isn't a plain U. And I'm going to use our Pretty Sparkly again. If you see here, I was making this one before and I was going too fast and I was adding the edge, which I forgot to do on this one, but I accidentally went in, so I had to start again. So I'm going to grab my Tim Holtz board. I'm going to put this up in the corner. I'm going to move my markers before I throw them all over the floor. I'm going to add my magnets to keep everything in place. And then I'm going to add You and Thing. pretty words are so hard to line up. Actually going to use the lines on my board to line up these sentiments. So this time I'm going to take the Hero Arts white again so that we can see it. Forgot to use my embossing buddy. I'm using my really old Print Blocks heat tool, which I don't even know if they still exist. I don't think they do, but it looks exactly the same as the Tim Holtz one. I actually bought this second hand because it looked like the Tim Holtz one. It works pretty much the same way as well. I do have another one that I can use for heat embossing, but I might have to do that one again. I'm not sure if thing is going to work. Okay, so I'm back. I was trying all different stamps and they weren't embossing. They stamp great, but I don't know if it's just because I'm using this cardstock, but they weren't giving me the look that I wanted. So I have gone with Have a Sweet Day because I've got We All Scream for Ice Cream, but I have nothing to tie the sweet in it. Just be sweet, hang in there. So I wanted some sentiments that would go with the sweet. So again, I've pulled out a Lawn Fawn sentiment. Again, I think it's from the Totally Awesome stamp set. So I'm just going to be brave for this one. So we have Have and Day, and I can already tell that we're wonky. And because these are so skinny, again, I'm going to take some of this tape. Now this already has some tape on it, so I'm just going to remove the backing and add that on there. And then I'm going to get a small piece for Day. So I'm just going to pop Have up here, and then we'll have Sweet, and then we'll have Day, and again I'm going to tuck it in here because I like how that looks. So Have a Sweet Day, and then I'm going to trim this down. I did not realise both my batteries are almost dead. Well, one just died and the other one's flashing at me, so I'm trying to go as fast as I can before my battery runs out. Okay, we have our We All Scream for Ice Cream. Again, it's really skinny, so I'm just going to grab this tape and cut a few pieces of it. Don't like to use too much because it's super expensive. Okay, so I'm going to add some sequins and then come back because my battery is flashing like mad. I've added some pretty pink Posh sequins that we also got in our box, and that's our finished card. So these two used Copics, and this one used the Audi graphic markers and some sequins I already had. Sentiments, these ones came from Lawn Fawn's set because it was very hard to emboss some of the words. They came out a bit messy, a bit hard to read. So I decided to grab some words from other stamp sets I had close by to make it work. So we have a Nice Day and We All Scream for Ice Cream. I'm just going to add some Wink of Stella to her ice cream because I forgot. Which one is your favourite card? Going to sparkle up her glasses as well. The sentiment stamp really nice, but yeah, they're just a bit too fine for embossing some of the words, especially the cursive writing. I really need to get myself a white Signo pen for adding highlights back to eyes and things. Okay, so my light's flashing madly, so I will say I hope you're all doing some arty crafty alchemy yourselves. Let me know in the comments what you're working on. I'll see you all next time. We're going away for the weekend and we're going to see some pretty lights, so hopefully I can show you all some pretty pictures when I come back. So I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.